After two grim episodes in a row that still ended on a somewhat uplifting note, and having successfully cleared the first ending,
it's time for us to go back and fix this thing. Until the next grim ending!
But first, in episode 39, Temferor writes, Police Knots is cool. I prefer Snatcher, though.
I have not played Snatchers, but I did watch a Let's Play of it, and I was very impressed by how in-depth the gameplay was. Like, you could do all sorts of things and get all sorts of different reactions, and how strong the story elements were.
You could get yourself arrested for sexual harassment.
Well, I wasn't going to go there, but...
Snatcher was the first visual novel that I played, and then when I played Phoenix Wright years later, I thought, oh, hey, this is just like Snatcher. And then I realized that I'd enjoyed every game in that genre that I played, and so I started playing a lot more. Snatcher is really good. I think, as a story, it is better than Police Knots. But ultimately, if you're talking about 25-year-old classic Kojima visual novels, you can't go wrong.
The man knows how to tell a story.
Also, Random Hajil is a great name for a character. Alright, no messing around today.
We'll mess around in 5 minutes instead.
Yeah, probably.
Speaking of a sigh of resignation, we're the Bittersweet Gamers.
Well, I'm the Opinionator.
And I'm We Squared.
Come on. A sigh of resignation?
Look, I use what's given to me.
Here we are. We have to stop Suzuha, because nothing good is going to come of her leaving. Certainly not success. I just need to send it. Save Mayuri. That is my purpose. Erase the time you spent with Suzuha. Destroy whatever bond you had. You already had the Suzuha ending. Just... Nobody else got to see that. Nobody else got to have that time with her. But you did. Just, it's sad, but at least you had that. You have to remember what's important. Just let it go. Did that send it? I didn't send the dang thing.
No, it should be like L2 or R2.
Ah, it is. What should I do? How about, pray I'm doing this correctly? What's the right choice? Stop it. You're starting to doubt. But I need to reach a conclusion, or else I place my thumb on the send button. But what is the alternative? Is that really worth it?
If it means she dies. And Cern wins anyway.
Ocarine will remember it for you. At least there is that.
ほんのちょっとの間でも君たちと一緒にいられてよかった。父さんのやろうとしていたこと、私が絶対やり遂げるから。それじゃあ35年後に会いましょう。君たちにとっては数時間後か。お願い、未来を変えてほしい。
Suzuha, I've made my choice. I won't ask for your forgiveness. Though she would give it anyway.
Right? Oh, if I don't do this, you're going to not only fail, thus ensuring that CERN takes over the world, but you will then kill yourself. Come on.
You will die in misery, cursing yourself for having failed. This way, that doesn't happen.
Oh. Doesn't this mean if she succeeds in getting the IBN, she'll still be the owner of the building?
Probably.
Are we erasing Mr. Braun from existence?
What? No. She'd still be renting it out. Isn't it an interesting coincidence that she owned the building anyway?
Yes.
Even without remembering what she was there to do?
That is a very interesting coincidence.
Ultimately, I'm doing this to save Mayuri. Conveniently, I'm even saving Suzuha as I do this. Arguing so much... don't be so selfish, so pointlessly selfish. But at the same time, the words you spoke on that rooftop are still strong in my heart. You entrusted to me your hope for the future. If I'm to honor that wish and fulfill mine, then the time we spent together can never have happened.
The divergence went up to 0.40.
For the first time, we're going in the opposite direction of CERN winds. Chapter 7, Made in Complex.
Speaking of divergence real quick, someone in the comments did mention that in the original visual novel, because you can pull your phone up and look at the emails, on the email where Tider sends you the divergence rate, after every D-mail, you could pull that email up and look at the change divergence.
Man!
I know!
Why'd they take that out?
Streamlining, I suppose?
Light gathers between my eyes. Stars explode behind my eyelids.
Twin beams of power shoot forth from my eye sockets!
Oh, better leap again. I've just vaporized Mayuri. This one was my fault. Gradually, color returns to the world. I wonder if he ever gets used to this.
I doubt it.
I agree.
This isn't something a human being should be able to get used to, I feel.
Yeah, well said.
Like reality itself is rewriting.
Has the world line changed? Did the divergence change? It's not like I see flashing numbers that fly before my eyes. But of course he doesn't have the machine. He got it from Suzuha.
Whoa.
He got it from Suzuha.
Oh yeah, the divergence calculator. Record meter thing.
I checked the meter a few minutes ago, just before the world line changed. Now it's nowhere to be found. I quickly realize what has happened. A surge of regret seizes my heart. I clench my teeth and endure it as best I can. If nobody else remembers, then I alone will keep these memories alive. It really happened. It really was there, and at least you can remember it.
He can bear witness to a history.
Yeah. Our memories with Suzuha. Mayuri, Kurisu, and Daru are in the room with me. The world line should have changed. I erased the time we spent with Suzuha. That should have allowed her to leap to 1975 without losing her memories, and the IBM 5100 should be in our hands now. We can use it to hack into CERN and erase the data they intercepted from us that caused all of this crap.
Until they send someone back in time to make sure they get the data, and then we go back in time and...
You know something like this is gonna start happening, right? Well, maybe it doesn't, I don't know.
Well, it can't be that simple.
So do they have the IBN or not? And did they get the IBN the same way they got the IBN last time? And what about Kiryu Moeka? Is she going to be coming around more now that there's an IBN here? Just like Hukarin, we don't know where we currently are, even though everybody else does.
And we also don't know the depths of changes that have happened.
Yeah.
That's what's so kind of terrifying about this.
At this point, he should be able to say, hey guys, what's happening? I just
changed time, the world line again, can someone fill me in?
Without that information, Moeka's men won't attack the lab. Mayuri won't have to die. Oh yeah, maybe Moeka isn't here at all. Or, who the heck knows? Why hasn't he demailed himself to be like, don't talk to Kiryu Moeka? Because they're gonna attack the lab if the IBN is here.
Yeah, period.
Regardless of whether that information was deleted or not.
Well, once they get the information they need taken care of, they can just ditch it somewhere.
Just give it to him. That's how it should be. Otherwise, why did I sacrifice Suzuha's dream? I mean, it is true she'll never know, but at least someone does. Might make the naming of Amane Suzuha when she's born kind of awkward, though. I immediately try to confirm that retro PC, the IBM 5100, is in the lab, but contrary to my expectations, I can't find it anywhere.
That's bad.
What's going on? Well, isn't it gone for the same reason that it was gone before?
That it was taken?
Yeah, that was, like, quite a lot of divergence ago.
At this point, you're right. He does need to be like, could someone give me an update of the last week or so?
I want to sit down and think about where it could have gone, but a voice in my head is screaming that there's no time. Because if we don't have it, then that means I need to calm down. It's hard to think straight after everything that's happened.
All those holes poked in your brain.
And it just gets worse and worse for him. Oh, they do not have time!
Uh-oh!
I try to calm myself down, but the fateful hour is upon us before I know it, and I still haven't gotten the heads up on what's happening.
山手線は止まっているかはいや、止まってないんじゃね
Oh?
I guess it succeeded, just not in the way that they wanted it to.
That's chaos theory in a nutshell.
ネットで調べてくれ今いいところなのに
I mean, she's supposed to die at 6:55.
Literally less than a minute.
頼むやっぱ止まってないみたいだおありがとう
The world line has changed. Images from the assault flash through my mind. Mayuri bleeding to death on the floor. The smell of gunpowder in the air.
But isn't Mayuri going to die anyway? Aren't we still in World Line Alpha?
If we're still in World Line Alpha, even if there's no assault,
then something's gonna happen to her.
Freak airplane crash, meteor dropping from the heavens, dimensional tunneling space worm, just opens a vortex and sucks out her brain, then vanishes into the ether from whence he arose.
No.
It had better not be any of those things. That nightmare should finally be over. I start to pray. Please, don't let anything happen.
Okay.
It's past 9. Does this mean that maybe they're not in World Line Alpha, but they haven't succeeded? Well, Mayuri didn't die.
That's correct.
But
or Mayuri's death wasn't as fixed a point as it was made out to be.
maybe we're in World Line Gamma, where CERN still wins.
But Mayuri doesn't die.
That's better than it was.
That's progress.
オカリン、誰か待ってんの？さっきからやたら下を気にしてっけど。
Have you asked if you're working on a time machine?
Well, he should be able to look over there and see it.
Okay, fair point. Daru's right. I've probably looked out the window 20 times in the past hour. That's once every 3 minutes. Moeka's men still haven't appeared. The raid was before 7, if I remember correctly.
What you do?
I think it's safe to say that my changes to the past have prevented it from occurring. I guess I saved her with a whimper and not with a bang.
A bang's what caused this problem.
Suzuha's sacrifice was not in vain. And it's not like she died!
Right!
In fact, she might still be alive! That's the whole part of the point!
前よりそれにクリス
Well, I get that really what her sacrifice was not finding out the identity of her father, but...
今あんた、私の名前、普通に呼んだ？
Don't worry about it, the zombie. I'll get back to it later.
We'll wait until the situation is happier, and then many names will come your way.
二人とも帰るんだ。もう遅いから送っていく。
I'm surprised that he hasn't been talking to Mayuri. That's one of the things that's so interesting, is him keeping his distance from her, even as he's like burning up everything in his life to come up with some frantic way to save her.
I don't think he's fully convinced they're safe yet.
Yeah, you're right.
He's waiting for the other shrew to drop that is full of bees and on fire.
They're gonna walk outside of the house, and then a shoe is gonna fall from an airplane, and the shoe is gonna be full of bees that are on fire.
And it's gonna land on Mayuri.
Yes, that's where I was going with this. After that one alternate scene from before, where he left her alone for 5 minutes and then Surge threw her in the past.
Yeah.
I'm sure he's not exactly eager to leave her alone again.
そうする。
別に岡部なんかに送ってもらわなくても一人で帰れるんだけど。
Shut up.
Tough.
いいから。誰も支度しておけ。
I'm not escorting you though.
We're all going to stick together to a certain extent, and nobody is being left alone. And if anybody argues with this,
I'll beat you with the Sialoom saber.
yeah!
Eh?
It's a good idea. The train lines running through Akihabara are operating normally. There's no bomb scare and no sign of Moeka or her men. Should I ask to see if anybody still knows Moeka? Mayuri is still by my side. It's interesting. We too don't accept this. We're waiting for it.
Right?
That's such an interesting thing. Like an interesting reaction that it...
Like, oh no. You can't fool us, game.
It's the night of the 13th and Mayuri's still alive. This is why I sacrificed our memories with Suzuha. It was the only way, and it worked, didn't it? Actually, come to think of it, why can't I tell her in person? If she's still alive, I can just give her the information.
Yeah.
Where in Akiba could the 54-year-old Suzuha be?
If only I had been told previously what sort of activities she'd been engaged in. Mr. Braun?
Why don't you ask the person who will be able to tell you? Okay, good. Though I'm not sure the result's gonna be any different. Because otherwise I think that would mean that we won.
Probably. Like she might have still died, but not through suicide.
Or still died through suicide. It's just, if there isn't some other tangle or problem, we won the game, right?
That does seem to be what it implies, yes.
Since we haven't won the game yet, there still has to be some awful problems, and they should be getting worse.
They should be escalating, yeah.
I'll try asking Tennouji tomorrow. He probably knows Suzuha on this world line too. And if not, I have no idea why he's letting us live here. Or rent the space, rather. I wonder if Suzuha remembers me.
ねえねえ、オカリン？
なんだ
Whatever you do, Mayuri, don't look at your watch.
なんだじゃないよ。そんなにじーって見つめられたらね、気になってマユシーはそわそわしちゃうのです。
それは悪かった。
今日のオカリン、なんだかいつもと違うような気がするよ。
It's okay. It's a good thing. It's PTSD at this point.
Yeah.
And he's still on the alert.
そうか。
He is going to sleep all day tomorrow.
どうかしたの？
Well, you see, you died a couple times, and,
I don't want to worry her too much. I want Mayuri to smile her usual ditzy smile without a care in the world, and I will be damned if I let anything get in the way of that. After all, it's over now. She's safe.
俺は何も変わってはいない。今もお前の顔を見ていたのではなく、 いかに世界に混沌をもたらすかを考えていたのだ。
Uh-oh. So he's obviously begun to accept that things are probably good since he's reverted to being a Chuny.
Or at least he's doing that to calm Mayuri down.
But it can't be that easy.
本当に無理してない？
Understatement of the century.
この狂気のマッドサイエンティストに無理なことなど一つもない。常に IQ170 を誇る灰色の脳細胞が完璧な計算を叩き出しているのだからな。
そっか。でもね、たまにはボケーって休むことも必要なんだよ。そのことをね、忘れないでね、オカリン。
Mayuri is here with me, doing everyday Mayuri things, ordinary things. Ordinary things. After all this time, everything is going back to normal.
Don't think we're lowering our guard, Gabe. You can't fool us.
Not for one freaking second! Okarin may be back to Chuny, but I'm not fooled. Though it is nice to, after all this time, see a little bit of peace. You know, peace without the oppressive time loop destroying Okarin's psyche. Yesterday was my first time home in a while, so I slept like a log in my comfortable bed. I got to see my parents and remembered that they exist.
But the viewers will never see my home or my parents, so take that.
Oh, flashback.
No. That was the next day.
But why was it in white then? The last time we got the white was a flashback. But you're right, this is the next day.
Could it be a representation of the world line clusters, maybe?
Maybe.
That,
yeah, actually,
Yes, exactly, I agree.
It would make sense that if you go back far, you'd be in a different world line. Or could be. Even though I arrive at the lab before noon, Mr. Braun already seems to be shuttering the shop for the day. Not like there are customers, so may as well just go with your own convenience. I notice he has a pickup, very Mr. Braun-like. He stands up when he notices me.
Okabe, お前ずいぶん暇そうだな。うちでバイトしねえか。今なら特別に月給ブラウン管1台で雇ってやる。
One CRT a month?
What do you think exactly he's going to do with all these CRTs?
I'm sure he has more CRTs than money, however.
鈴葉はいつ頃辞めたんでしたっけ？
鈴葉？誰だそいつは。
Oh no!
Wow!
So she was definitely here, and she definitely worked part-time, and then she went into the past and didn't anymore?
Something to do with what she changed.
But, like, what about herself?
Well, if they're in a different world line cluster, isn't that the only way that could work?
Oh yeah, I guess so, because she is physically going from place to place, so she could be guaranteed to exist in a point far in the future because everything, all the different world lines do converge on different points. So far in the future, she's definitely going to exist. But if she's physically moved into the past, even though she's still going to exist in the future, I think I might sort of have my brain wrapped around this. Maybe. But what the hell changed? What? BSG's reaction is exactly mine! Was her existence erased completely? How? But that's impossible. Just as impossible as the forbidden romance between girl and corn.
Well, she knows a thing or two about stalking. She's got really good ears. Shucks, I'll stop with the joke.
Why am I laughing? I'm only encouraging more of this behavior in the future. You didn't use maze. You failed.
I can't just bust out maze every time.
You busted out shuck.
Maze is for special occasions.
たった10日ばかりで辞めてくようなゆとりバイトの名前なんざとっくに忘れちまったぜ。
Okay, okay.
Whew, okay. We're on edge even as Okarin is less on edge.
俺紛らわしい言い方を。
The game got us.
Now is not the time to be making these jokes, Mr. Brown. So, Suzuha did work here. That fact, the evidence of Suzuha's sojourn in 2010 still remains on this world line. Thank goodness. Because what would it mean if she didn't?
せっかく俺が楽できると思ったのによ。だから嫌なんだ。最近の若いのは根性なしもいいところだぜ。
Get off my lawn.
Pay me a salary and maybe I'll consider it. And a CRT is not a salary.
どうせ面接の時に言ってたブラウン管が好きってのも嘘だったんだろうよ。まんまと騙されちまった。
It's true. That is absolutely, in fact, what really happened. Naturally, he doesn't know about Suzuha's true identity.
橋田鈴という人を知っていますか？
懐かしい名前だな。おめえ、知り合いだったのか？
He doesn't even think that it's weird that the conversation suddenly turned here. But,
I don't like the implications of that statement.
I mean, he didn't respond to it with...
It's true, his expression is a lot happier and smilier.
Instead of, are you sure you want to talk about that, Okabe? So, that's good. But... Knew her?
その人は今は
もうかれこれ10年になるか。
Same time, no less. 10 years? 10 years since what? At least it wasn't suicide, though.
Yeah, or his reaction would be a lot different.
No. I don't want to know the answer.
あの人には随分世話になった。
Why are you talking about her in past tense?
Because she's in the past.
天涯孤独だったらしくてな。せめて俺が見とってやりたかったんだが。
Even though the world line changed, Suzuha didn't survive to the year 2010.
でもま、こう言っちゃなんだが、死に顔は穏やかだったよ。
穏やか。自殺じゃないのか。
What did she do, though? Well, we'll get to that in a moment. We've got to get past this.
お前それ誰から吹き込まれたんだよ。すずさんは病気で亡くなったんだ。根も葉もねえ話を信じてんじゃねえ。
Yes, sir. Duly noted, sir. Glad to hear it, sir.
Seriously.
Sickness killed her. I shouldn't feel good about that, but...
Well, if her last moments were peaceful and not filled with regret...
Well, what if she didn't remember at all? But Mayuri is alive.
Yeah, she had to have done something.
But we didn't get the IBN.
Unless they did get it and got rid of it when they were done with it, and Okarin hasn't freaking followed up! Because that's terror.
All we want him...
Because he never does.
All we want him to do is just try and figure out what's going on when he gets to a new place.
Just a little follow-through, please.
But I guess you could... I guess you could say! What do you mean, I guess you could say? You most definitely could say! It's better than what happened before the world line changed.
で、おめえとすずさんはどういう知り合いだったんだ？
昔、俺も世話になったんです。もう一度、 会いたいって思っていたのに。
She called herself Hashida Suzu. Doesn't that mean that she found out at some point or deduced it on her own, maybe?
That is possible, but it could just be a coincidence, just like her own name.
Could be.
そうか。あの人が住んでた家は今は俺が使ってんだ。位牌もそこにある。なんなら手を合わせに来るか。
Yes!
Yes. I nod without a moment's hesitation.
例の人工衛星、いつ消えたんでしたっけ？
What satellite? What are you talking about?
あ
Ah,
あ、
okay.
5日前ぐらいじゃなかったか。
Good. Well, we knew that. We knew
世
that.
の中、奇妙なことが起きるもんだな。
Happened when she was supposed to leave.
Yeah.
Which means Suzuha left before it rained. She would have had to or she couldn't have left. Like Tennouji said, his house is closer than expected.
Now it's back to black.
This old one-story house is where Suzuha once lived. I walk up to the front of the house and there I see a familiar sight.
Oh.
For a moment, I can see her there, squatting beside the bicycle.
その自転車は鈴さんがすっげえ大事にしてたんだよ。晩年は自分で乗ることはなかったけどな。それでも週に一度はフレームを磨いてた。処分することもできなくて、結局10年もそこに置いたままだ。俺もできるだけ整備はしてるんだが、さすがに錆が目立ってきてるな。
Ouch. What a paradox, you know? She got to ride, like, the same bike that she was working on before.
Yeah.
But she was working on that bike because it was her bike.
Yes.
It's so freaking complicated.
There are some things that you just shouldn't worry about with time travel, Dave.
It's like the origin of that pin. Does she have that pin? It never got made, right? Without Daru to make it, she couldn't have it as a keepsake of her father.
Maybe he'll find it here, and that'll make sure that it gets made. It might be one of those constants, like it has to be made so it gets made.
In a way, isn't that pin, and at least most explicitly this bike, kind of like Schrodinger's cat? Or rather what I mean, not like the concept, but like the name, Suzuha's bike. The bike must exist, but no one knows the origin of the bike. But the bike is here. Suzuha had the bike in 2010 because Suzuha in 1975 had the bike. But it's the same bike.
Nah.
And so does that mean that when she went back in time with the broken time machine and it crashed and the bike was destroyed because you could see the destroyed bike, then where was the bike she was riding? Where did it come from?
I think you're going far too off the rails.
No, this is like a bike that exists separate from space-time because it's some type of... It's a paradox, and it's weird. The Suzuha's bike paradox. The house isn't as messy inside as I expected.
Well, he's a father, so he needs to keep it clean for his kid, for one.
Quite a surprise, considering the condition of the Braun tube workshop. No, that is interesting, isn't it? I guess that chipmunk keeps the place clean. Good for her. A wave of nausea hits me as I recall what Naya did at Ochanomizu Station. But thank goodness, that did not happen. I tell myself that was just an accident, because it was just the most horrible accident, and most importantly, it is the most horrible accident that did not occur.
Yeah.
So there is nothing to worry about. But it's the burden of remembering all the world lines. Besides, that incident has already been undone. Tennouji Nai has done nothing wrong. Nai isn't here. Which reminds me, Tennouji's daughter visits the workshop often, but not once have I seen his wife, and I've never really thought to ask. I turn to the Buddhist altar to pay my respects to Suzuha. There's no picture of her, so there's no way to know what Hashida Suzu looked like at the age of 44. So young. This is the house Suzuha lived in after leaping to 1975. And look at Tennouji.
Yeah, he's really
俺と
sad
すずさ
too.
んは最初いわゆるお隣さんだったんだよ。
Ah,
俺は
I see.
ヨーロッパ生まれのヨーロッパ育ちでな。
How fascinating.
What? No way!
In the past, I was like, why does Tennouji exist? Why does Nae exist? And posited that Nae might be Suzuha. Now, clearly, that was wrong, but less wrong than it could have been, huh?
Oh my god!
Less wrong than it could have been. Forget the Suzuha's bike paradox. Isn't it more like the Suzuha's husband paradox? Unless we're totally taking the wrong thing from this.
The way he's talking!
Now think about what he said before about finding her body.
Oh, jeez.
And then think about how much more serious it was for Nae. Suzuha had to have gone back to 1975. If we're reading this situation correctly, and she actually was Mrs. Braun, okay? That means that at least that it's possible that in the world line where Nae pushed Mayuri, that her mom committed suicide and she pushed Mayuri.
Oh,
off.
Jesus.
Well,
That's terrible.
none of that happened, so that is good. Now let's see. Let's find out about the adventures of Mrs. Braun. Man, the more I see of this family, the more I like them.
は？それはギャグですか？
んだよてめえ。俺は英語もフランス語もペラペラだぞこら。
Son of a bitch!
He really doesn't look like someone who lived abroad, but what does someone who lived abroad look like?
So cool!
I guess you can't judge a book by its cover. Though the cover of Tennouji Yugo is freaking awesome. What an interesting person he must be.
両親が死んで15年ぐらい前に日本に帰ってきたんだよ。つっても俺にとっては生まれて初めての日本だった。
Picked up the language really well too. You sound like a proper delinquent.
この国について何にも知らねえ俺の面倒を見てくれたのが隣に一人で住んでたすずさんだったってわけだな。
All right, now's my chance. If I'm gonna ask, it's now or never, because I think I might know the answer, and I really need to know this answer.
結婚を？
Maybe the answer is no, but if it were yes, it makes everything make a lot of sense.
あ？
No?
結婚？
Oh, did the game get us again?
I kept saying this may not be the case.
すずさんと。
アホか。
Okay, so I guess the game really did get us.
Alright, well done.
Huh! I knew she'd never marry a guy like him.
He's
even though-
awesome! What are you talking about?
あの人は随分ストイックに生きてたよ。人付き合いもあまりなかったみてえだ。けどな、俺にはよくしてくれた。
If she didn't lose her memory, I bet she did.
Uh-huh.
ここに越してきて1年ぐらい経った時、俺の家が火事で全焼してな。
Oh God!
まあ、俺のタバコの不始末が原因だから自業自得なんだが。
Yeah, it's possible that Nae is Suzuha's daughter and he's just taking care of her out of respect to Suzuha.
Okay, there is that.
We are just so desperate for that to be the case.
Also, can we have a game about Tennouji Yugo?
Please?
Oji-sans can go on adventures too.
その時に全財産なくした俺をこの家で 下宿させてくれたんだ。それだけじゃねえ。工房のあるあの大檜山ビルな。あれもともとすずさんの持ち物だったんだぞ。
We know that.
それを格安で譲ってもらったんだ。おかげで俺はブラウン管工房を構えることができたってわけだ。あの人は俺の恩人だよ。ある時、なんだって縁もゆかりもねえのにこんなによくしてくれるんですかって聞いたことがあんだが。
Well, she sort of had to. However, saying she sort of had to doesn't mean it was bad.
そしたらあの人は笑ってこう答えたよ。巡り巡って人は誰かに親身にしてもらうことになってる。だから君もいずれ誰かに親身にしてあげなさいってな。
She did have to, but she also did because of what he did for her.
Circular karma.
Yeah, it is. And then it makes him also more likely to be pretty nice to Okabe and the others.
なんだか不思議な人だったぜ。預言者みたいにこれから起きる出来事をピタリピタリと言い当てたりしてな。
Funny how that works, huh?
Suzuha. That was probably her way of repaying Tennouji for looking after her, even if it was just for 10 days.
I don't suppose she has an old computer lying around somewhere that she didn't have the chance to set up to give to me because she died unexpectedly.
And so it came full circle.
世間ってのは狭いな。あの人のことを知ってる人間がこんな近いところにいたとは。そうだ。ちょっと待ってろ。
Oh? He comes back holding something in his hands.
An IBM 5100.
Maybe not, but...
Oh!
I'll be darned. Before the world line changed, it was in the lab. But on this world line, Suzuha brought the meter with her to 1975, so it makes sense that it would be here in her house. It's been in this house for 35 years.
I'm amazed it hasn't, run out of battery power or something.
Well, it must not run on batteries.
Well, you know what I mean. It hasn't degraded in 35 years to the point where it's inoperable.
You gotta give Ho-Oin Kyoma one thing. He builds his machines with the best and sturdiest of parts. Divergence has changed, just like Suzuha said.
メーターの数値が 1% を超えたとき、君はベータ世界線にたどり着いたことになる。
Does that mean I'm still on the Alpha World line?
それ、何の数字を表してるかわかるか?
Then why is Mayuri alive?
Yeah.
俺にはさっぱりわからなくてな。この10年、その数字からピクリとも変わりゃしねえ。
I'm sure. It's never changed once. Always been the same number.
ただ、すずさんは病床からいつもこのメーターを眺めてた。
What a nice guy. He's like a deeply masculine man with a deeply sentimental soul.
Who talks like a thug.
A little bit.
But he's a devoted father.
親事のようにつぶやいてたよ。
He is clearly a devoted father and a kind man.
この数字は変わる前なのかな、変わった後なのかな、私は変えられたのかな。
To be wrestling with those thoughts.
It's inevitable, though.
Especially on her deathbed.
そんな風に一日に何回もな。見てて痛々しいほどだった。
At least this means she didn't forget. Now,
That's true.
Now, we don't know what happened, but she did something successfully. Suzuha. In my heart, I reach out to the girl who died 10 years ago, to the girl who will be born 7 years from now, to the girl who crossed time to save the future, to, and this part is freaking weird, to my friend Daru's daughter, Suzuha. Thanks to you, Mayuri is safe. Divergence has changed. But we haven't yet reached your ultimate goal. 1% divergence. Once that is achieved, the future you dreamed of will become a reality. I will carry on your fight, Suzuha. I promise.
Now, did you ask about the IBM 5100? Of course you didn't.
I was just interested in the gossip of finding out about Naya's mother. Maybe she burned up in the fire.
Oh, God!
Of course not. She probably was like, you're a deadbeat, and just left him.
Possibly.
But...
Hold on. Suzuha couldn't have been Nai's mother. Nai isn't 10 years old.
Oh yeah, she's 9, right?
Whoops.
It's hard to keep chipmunks' ages straight, especially in anime, where you have to ignore the ages that everybody gives. You know,
based on what they appear to be.
Like Tennouji Yugo is without a doubt 28 or something, you know?
At this point, he'd swoop in on a frickin' flying plane that he cobbled together to pick her up.
He probably values her a lot more than he did before.
Oh yeah.
人質に逃げられては困るからな。
When's the shoe gonna drop?
Maybe there isn't a shoe. Maybe this is the ultimate bait the game has given us.
What, 3 chapters of peace?
Yes?
困るよね。それでね、マユシーはとっても嬉しいよ。
I'm still not sure she's not just gonna die.
Oh no, I think you're right.
Just
or
at
something.
Just at a different time. If
like moving the death clock forward?
Yeah.
Oh, I feel like I'm playing Deathmark now. That was a pretty above-average horror game. It had its flaws, but I enjoyed it.
I don't really understand why she's happy to be called a hostage. For some reason. But, whatever. It's surely not important to her, is it?
ねえ、その抱えてる荷物って何?
It's nice that Mr. Brown let him have it.
ミスター・ブラウンから譲ってもらったんだ。世界線の数値を測ることのできるOパーツなんだぞ。
O parts.
He calls it O parts.
That's probably a term he's used before around her, so she'd be able to understand it easier.
For those who don't know, that stands for out of place artifact.
OOOP.
No, that's OOP.
OOPART.
Good job.
I was explaining for the audience, you jerk.
Now, Mayuri will accept that this is a device that measures the divergence of world lines without a second thought. Daru may have questions, but he doesn't seem to ask these important questions. He just seems to live in his own world, doing his own important, has-it-together selfness things, but then works extremely hard on projects not of his devising. But Kurisu is going to be like, what the heck is that, and where did you get it, and why does it work? Daru will wonder that, but then he'll just go back to playing Clannad or something. If it's important, he'd be told, right?
That's true.
なんだかすごそうだね。でも、世界線の数値って?
Because this conversation hasn't happened in this world line.
まゆりは本当にバカだな。
Well, she's your dummy, so that's okay. Anxiety still smolders in my heart. We managed to survive last night. The worst night of them all. Friday the 13th, the day of repeated death. But that doesn't guarantee our safety forever.
I'm so glad that he hasn't just lowered his guard completely, that he's still worried about this.
It's like that's already happened twice now.
Yeah!
In the, oh, that was a dream. This must be a dream. None of it's going to keep happening. And then, like, the loop ending.
I'm just so glad he didn't fall back into that.
Yeah, I can't imagine that he's going to continue doing that because he's already been crushed by it.
Yes, but it's a valid concern with this protagonist.
Yes, it is. Whether it's for this protagonist or the genre where it's incredibly possible to have way too passive, way too dumb main characters. Thoughtless is maybe a better word. So indeed, I join you in appreciating that he is...
taking this seriously.
Yes. It's entirely possible for Moeka to attack now, on the afternoon of the 14th. I don't ever want to have to go through that again.
まゆり、例えばの話だが、コミマが終わるまで秋葉に来るのはやめた方がいいのではないか。
If the core problem hasn't been resolved,
Then she's still gonna die when she's supposed to die.
isn't it better? Well, maybe it isn't better for her to be close.
I think it is better because then he might have some better context as to the cause.
Well, the cause doesn't matter.
I mean, like the prime... Yeah, I guess that wouldn't matter. Especially if causality's killing her.
Well, it'd be best to know as soon as possible so he could time leap, but they still only have 48 hours, right?
That's true.
No response.
いない。
No, bad! That ditz! I take my eyes off her for 1 second and she disappears! Just like the beginning of the game! I have to be more careful, and I am very paranoid about her being gone!
I as well!
岡部って尽くすタイプなのね。
Are you making fun of me?
何がだ？
I finally stopped scouring at channel for information on the IBN 5100. I still don't know where it is. I went to Yanabayashi Shrine this morning, but predictably it wasn't there. Suzuha promised to get one to us somehow. Her gift to us from 1975.
The possibility exists that there just wasn't one available she could get.
Also, assuming she didn't forget anything, which it doesn't appear as though she did, nor was she full of grief, she could have set it up in a way that the Rounders wouldn't find, but the future Gadget Lab would.
I see.
Of course, she might also have less of an idea about what that was, since she didn't have the same bond with them.
That's true.
But she still knew who they were.
Yeah.
あんたがまゆりをお姫様扱いし始めた件について。
If she didn't succeed, she possibly would have died the same way as before.
That's true.
Whereas instead, she seemed to live a good life.
And the way she stared at the divergence thing seems to indicate she expected it to change even if she couldn't perceive it. It seems to point towards her success.
Yes. Also, Kurisu is jealous.
今日は駅までお迎えに上がって。お昼ご飯は毒味までして。ここまでは手をつないで歩いてきたとか。
Why don't you tell her?
She's the one person who can understand.
あのね、まゆしーはオカリンに愛されちゃってるね。
Now, if I didn't know better, I'd say she's kind of rubbing that in.
You just had to say something, didn't you, Mayuri?
Yeah.
Seriously, did you have to tell Kurisu that? Come on!
で、実際のところどうなんだ？
どうとは？
And why are you so interested? These are teenagers. Everybody's got to misunderstand everything.
前から不思議だったのよね。あんたたちって付き合ってるの？
Heck, I was this dense when I was a teenager.
Can confirm, yes.
そう見えるのか？
Well, I mean, you know, kind of.
Yeah.
それは
Just what sort of delusions does this girl have? I swear, Mayuri is totally misunderstanding the nature of our relationship.
Meanwhile, Daru's on the computer rolling his eyes.
Because he's the only person who actually understands human interactions here.
Oddly enough.
あのね、オカリンとマユシーは小さい頃からずっとお友達なんだよ。
She is really happy about this attention she's getting.
I can't imagine why.
じゃあ付き合ってないんだ。まあ誰も岡部みたいな変人と付き合おうとは思わないし、当然よね。
I like how her reaction is the exact same as Duka's, who was
Yeah.
like, yes, I still got a chance. 22 practice swings with Samidare! Oria! Oh, the voice cracked.
クリスティーナよ。お前には失望したぞ。
It's true. As long as he commits to nothing, he neither will lose his position with Mayushi and can pretend that his options are open before he inevitably succumbs to the Osana Najimi character, which always wins.
は？何よいきなり。
俺は気づいた。気づいてしまったのだよ。お前の本質にな。恋の話になると、途端に食いつき方が変わる。そんなお前は、スイーツかっこ笑いに他ならない。
I don't know what that means, but we're gonna find out.
You dirty normie!
Mainstream woman, a derogatory term used by otaku to describe women who subscribe to a way of thinking incomprehensible to men. Such women are supposedly influenced by mainstream culture, as promoted by women's magazines. Some claim that this phrase is used by men to justify their lack of success with women.
A very complicated, concept? Basically, it is the nerd cursing the non-nerd.
But she is a nerd.
Uh-huh.
恋の話を恋バナと読んでしまうお年頃だな。少子。そんなお花畑の持ち主をこの法王院京馬と我がラボは求めていないぞ。
Shoshi! He is in a lot better shape. He is in a lot better shape. If he's able to say ridiculous things like that, I also want to point out that this lab may have no need of the puppies and flowers in Kurisu's head, but it certainly has need of the puppies and flowers in Mayuri's head. They are different, they are completely different, and don't try to say otherwise.
Because you're wrong.
It feels strange and somewhat nostalgic to spew this Chunibyo nonsense.
Well, we can really see how far he's come, can't we?
Wow, he just grew up before our eyes.
Well, he had a lot of motivation.
Yeah, he did. He has so much. He has to bear so much.
Now, if only he would talk to his friends about this, he wouldn't have to bear it all alone, and he wouldn't be caught as flat-footed if something happens. Ahem!
Once he gets everything together with everybody, then they'll get on to solving the problem and the game will be over and we'll have won.
Okay.
It's also funny that, I guess it makes sense considering the last several episodes, but like, the presentation of the game, we're kind of in sync with Okarin's perspective here. Throughout this whole episode, we've hit the exact same emotional beats as him for the exact same reasons.
It's better than being in Daru's head. That place is scary, man.
He may be a normal person, but then there's that stuff. After all I've been through, I can't help but find the Chunibyo stuff a little embarrassing. I guess it's different when you've actually been involved in the things I've been talking about.
マッドサイエンティストかっこ自称の中二病患者が何言ってやがりますか。
It's been a long time since I argued with Kurisu like this too. It also feels pretty good. The thought brings a sudden pang of loneliness. After failing to save Mayuri, I sought help from this genius girl.
But that's all gone too.
Even though her words were at times harsh, she supported and encouraged me to the end. Without her, I would not have been able to do anything. But now, all of that has vanished along with the time we spent with Suzuha. I don't think that's true. Yeah, the specific interactions and experiences are gone.
Oh, but that emotional connection is still there?
Makise Kurisu is the sort of person who would do these things to help Okabe Rintaro. So she's still her.
You're right.
That overt part of the bond may be gone, but if you treat her as though it's there, it'll be reciprocated, right?
That's true.
Thank you for your help, Kurisu. I think we should end this episode in a slightly nostalgic, but nonetheless happy and safe place. Because that has not happened for some time.
I agree, we should take these opportunities when they are given to us.
Now in the next episode, we're probably going to be smashed with horror and grief, but that is then and this is now.
But in a game about time travel, what does then and now really mean?